Hey, what's going on, people? Tech Jamo. We're out here with SkellBoy Refractured. I'm playing this version on Steam. You can check the specs of my laptop in the description section below. Now, I'm not going to make a long thing with this review. We're just going to go through story, design, sound design, gameplay, and the visual aspects of the game, because I love these 2D slash 3D graphics situation that we've got going on here. So without further ado, let's do this. Now, story. There doesn't really seem to be much story. From what I understand, you're a skeleton soldier. You're in this kingdom. The king has a mage, this kind of powerful wizard guy, and he employed that powerful wizard guy to protect the kingdom. However, the powerful wizard guy ended up liking off the king's daughter, and the king's daughter was like, nah, leave it, bro. And then the mage got vexed, wants to murk off the king, and puts bare enemies in the kingdom to murk everyone off. Now, you as a skeleton warrior, or whatever you are, you come out of nowhere and you're like, I'm gonna save this world, kingdom, whatever it is. Cool, that's the story. Now, the game design is sick. It's so refreshing to see something different. In fact, it reminds me a lot of Paper Mario, the way it's got 2D sprites, 2D characters in a 3D world, but everything is kind of made like it's made of cardboard or paper. Even when you break stuff, the animation makes it look like it was just made of paper kind of thing as it falls down. And the way your character animates when they turn left and right isn't really a rotate, but it's a kind of flip of the paper around kind of thing. So yeah, it's quite funny, and it does definitely work with this game. Now, my computer is very much able to run this game at 240 frames per second. It's really bright and colorful, and they've got quite a few different areas in the game that have different feels. For example, the first area is kind of bright, colorful, grassy, sunshine. Then we go into a dungeon area, which is a bit more dull, grey, and made out of stones and rocks. And then I've also been to a swamp area, which is very dull, but more green kind of thing, with like lots of swamp puddles and stuff like that. The game also seems to employ a choice system where you can make different choices with NPCs in the game. For example, at the start of the game, there was a guy that was about to be executed on one of those guillotine things, and if you save him, you get a sword from him because he thanks you, and if you don't save him, you get his helmet, which he clearly doesn't need anymore. And obviously the sword gives you more attack power, and the helmet gives you more defense from overhead attacks. And that brings me into the attributes that you can get from killing different enemies. Now, depending on which enemy you kill, they all have the chance to drop an attribute which makes that enemy unique. For example, some plants shoot rocks out of the air. I don't know how, but they shoot rocks. And if you get that plant's head and put it on your character's body, you're also able to shoot rocks. Just again, you got mushrooms that have poison spores when you go and touch them. And if you kill that mushroom and it happens to drop that part of its body, you can put that body onto your body. And then you will also have poison spores when enemies touch you, which can protect you in the game. You also seem to get different weapons and different classes of weapons. So you start off with like a wooden sword or a cardboard sword, and then you can go on to a pencil, which is more like a javelin kind of thing. And then you get this massive club, which is used to just club things and clear out areas and do stuff like that. You also get your checkpoints, which are really cool because you don't lose any data when you get sent back to a checkpoint. Anything that you've unlocked, for example, a special door or anything like that, remains unlocked. It's just that your progress is set back in terms of where you are on that level, and you have to go through it again. Speaking of bosses, I like the way they've designed some of the bosses in this game. And now I've only fought two bosses. The first one was this kind of snail-like creature which would charge at you, obviously hitting you if you was in the way. And what it would do is, once it's charged at you, it would be in hit stun, which would give you a couple of seconds to jump on its back, hit one of the million eyes on its head and then jump off to safety again. And you'd have to do this a couple of times, like 10, 12 times, before you've killed all the eyes on top of its head and eventually defeated the boss. And each boss obviously leaves you a part of its body, which is an attribute to progress you later through the game. But all in all, guys, I'd say it's definitely a decent game to go and have a look at. From the boss fights to the different areas to the character customization, the different weapons, and the loud, annoying music. Definitely one of the games that you should have a little try of and play, especially if you like Metroidvanias and games like Zelda. But that's my 2 pence. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Subscribe, like, and I'll catch you in the next one. Tech Jamo out.